Welcoming now MLB Network's Greg Amsinger. Thank you so much for coming in studio to talk some Cardinals baseball with us.
I love it. I'm all things St. Louis. You know that. Born and raised. This is my hometown.
First, we got to start with Lindenwood, though. I know you're repping.
Yeah.
And you got a cool thing coming up this weekend, but it's also an expanded series. You're bringing in Chaim Bloom and Oli Marmol for the first at Lindenwood, but explain more about what you're doing.
Well, you know, look, I have a dream job at MLB Network, and the reason I have that is I fell in love with Cardinal baseball in the 80s, and I became a broadcaster because I had this blank canvas of a place to be super creative, and that was Lindenwood University. So I'm trying to merge the two groups that I love so much together. I've been thinking of a way to give back to Lindenwood athletics, and this is a way to do it, the Amsinger series. I'm going to try to do this 2 or 3 times a year, bring friends of mine, pretty cool people to St. Louis, and I want to do kind of a State of the Union with the Cardinals every year. And I know Chaim well, I know Oli really well, and I told these guys, let's do this, let's get positivity before spring training. And it's connected to the winter warm-up. The Cardinals do a great job with the ballpark this upcoming weekend, and they're all in, and there's a chance to go get more tickets. There are a few tickets left at the Shottinger Center at Lindenwood University, and I encourage everyone to go. It's going to be kind of a town hall style. So I'll be on stage with Chaim and Oli Friday night, tomorrow night on stage, and then we're going to have 3 aspiring broadcasters with wireless microphones. They'll be on each level of the theater, and they'll be able to walk up to all the fans that want to ask questions. So It's going to be very interactive. It's going to be a lot of fun and positive vibes going into spring training.
But Chaim Bloom has said from the beginning he wants to be open, transparent, and this is now entering a new era that Cardinals Nation hasn't really experienced before. It's a rebuild, and you see that when he traded Wilson Contreras, Sonny Gray, and now Nolan Arenado, all guys that waived their no-trade clauses to be able to go to different clubs, not because they weren't great players, but because it's a new era of Cardinals baseball. What does that say about what Chaim's been able to do, the openness that he's had, and also now what you're going to see after some of those key pieces are traded?
He's a true collaborator. That's what I've learned early on. And now this movement, it's a beautiful thing because the entire starting rotation is young. All of the position players are young. The front office is young. The coaching staff is young. Everyone is moving in the same direction, right? And there isn't such a hierarchy as there was for a very long time. I like John Mozeliak a lot. I do, personally. Unfortunately, he was branded as just this polarizing figure in St. Louis. And I didn't understand why. I look at his win-loss record, and it's Cooperstown worthy. Honestly, I think he'll be in the Hall of Fame someday. But for some reason, he rubbed people the wrong way. I want to come to St. Louis, have this event tomorrow night at Lindenwood, to get fans to understand the human part of Chaim Bloom and the human part of Oli Marmol. I mean, I just got back from the winter meetings in Orlando, and I'm at the bar, and I'm waiting for Oli to come over and hang out with me, and he walks up in a leather jacket and his hat on backwards. And I'm like, bro, you look like you could be in a boy band. This is this is no longer Tony La Russa and Whitey Herzog. It's a young Chaim Bloom who wants to have fun. He wants everyone to feel like they have an equal voice. He's a fan of his manager. He's a fan of the young players. Look what the Boston Red Sox have on the field right now. His fingerprints are all over that roster. So I'm excited. I'm very excited about this new collaborative movement in St. Louis, and that's what I want to celebrate tomorrow night.
Let's talk Nolan Arenado, because that was the latest. We feel like we have been talking about this potential trade for a while. You saw him getting a standing ovation at Busch Stadium to end the season. He's not being traded because he's not a fantastic Hall of Fame caliber player, but it's because of this new movement. So what do you think went into the timeline of why now was the right time to trade Nolan? Of course, he had to waive his no-trade clause, but give us some insight into what you think went on and now what we get in return with the Cardinals.
It was imperative to move him, and I'm so happy for both sides, including Nolan, who I've been talking with throughout this process. He's bummed that it ended the way it ended in St. Louis. I was there for the day you were talking about where he waved goodbye, and I was right off the field. I wanted to see his last game. I interacted with him when he waived his no trade to come to St. Louis. I was texting back and forth going, you got to come to St. Louis. This is going to be an incredible experience. And it was. He posted on his social media a picture when they punched the ticket to the playoffs, and it was him and Albert and Yadi and Waino and Goldie, and they got their arms around each other. I'm like, that's 5 Hall of Famers celebrating. What a magical season that was. And this is, Hall of Famers give you great memories. And he's a first ballot Hall of Famer in my eyes, and he's given us nothing but great memories. That said, where this team is going, where this franchise is going, the movement, you got to see Nolan Gorman at third base. You got to see J.J. Weatherholt in the big leagues. Maybe Jordan Walker gets a chance to play a little third base. We can see what that looks like. All of these questions have to be answered, and with him still on the roster, it was just going to clog things up. And you didn't want to give away all the money of the contract. The fact that they got the money that they did receive from the Diamondbacks is a win-win. They get another arm. He's collecting arms, which I think is a great approach from Chaim Bloom. I was really surprised that this got done before spring training. And the fact that it did, both parties should be celebrating. I know Nolan is. Texting with him, he is so excited, and I'm happy for him. I really am. He's a great human being.
So I know you're excited, but when you're talking to Cardinals Nation, you know they have high expectations, and you're looking at a rebuild year. You're looking at something new that we haven't experienced before. What would you say to fans about how they should start getting excited about 2026? Of course, it starts with the winter warm-up.
Look, I will remind people all the time, one of the luxuries of my job is I get to talk to all the fan bases. So I'm interacting with all the fans. And fans in Milwaukee were bummed when Corbin Burns was traded away and they're waving the white flag and what's going to happen with our organization? Do we even want to win? Blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, guys, hold on. Pat Murphy's, I think, going to be fine. You lost your manager. I know Craig Counsell went to the rival. I think you're going to be okay. And here they are, almost winning 100 games. I get it. They have Christian Yelich, who bounced back. He's a big money player, which the Cardinals don't really have anymore. But I think that this division is a spot where the Cardinals can be competitive. And I don't think that this is going to be a 90-loss team. I don't think St. Louis should be getting ready for that. This is teams can be wildly competitive. They like the young players they have. They're going to nurture the young players they've just drafted, who some believe aren't far away from the big leagues. So I like a vision. What I don't like is the gray area. You're either all in and you're trying to win a world championship, you're completely rebuilding. The gray area is, okay, we still have some high-priced guys, Miles Michaelis and Sonny Gray in our rotation. We know we can't win the World Series with them. We're spending money. What is that? This is a bunch of young guys, but the way they've done it, they all have experience, and now they're going to start trying to click at the same time. So I'm fired up for the upcoming season. I really am.
Greg, appreciate your time, and thanks for coming in studio. This brand new KMOV First Alert 4 studio than what you experienced.
It's beautiful here. My God, I would never have left St. Louis if I knew this looked like this. It's gorgeous.
I love it, Greg. Thanks so much.
Thank you.